since the hookup culture is women's fault. Because they are the gatekeepers of sex, but until that day comes, they, the red pill, will enjoy the decline. A direct quote.
So basically, Myron from Professional Fit says you should wait till you're 35 years old, slept with 50 women, you should be in shape, making 100 grand a year, and 6 to 12 months of savings. So just keep in mind here, Ben Shapiro, quick fact check, he's probably 40 years old. Can you just get his age real quick? I'm assuming Ben is right around 40.
He is 39.
Okay, he's 39, so about to be 40 years old. So Ben Shapiro has been married since he's 24 years old. He's got 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Ben Shapiro has been off the market, okay, since basically Obama got sworn in, okay, in 2008. The world has changed significantly with the advent of social media, dating apps, what's going on in the world, social media, everything that comes with that. Ben Shapiro is sort of a dinosaur when it comes to the current dating market.
There's a whole system of thinking by red pill influencers when they use this talking point, and it goes like, the world has changed, women are more promiscuous, and the avenues for practicing promiscuity for women are numerous and easier. There are no good women anymore, therefore men need to conform to the new norms, standards, and behaviors of the culture and flow with the current. They are not likely to put it as explicitly and concise as I have, but that's their messaging in a nutshell. A significant issue for me that repelled me from the red pill was its philosophical foundations for its definition for masculinity and what makes a high-value man. I am of the belief that it doesn't have a well-reasoned or realized foundation from which it grounds its definitions, besides from superficially derived conclusions and readings from evolutionary psychology littered with naturalistic fallacies and utilitarian aphorisms. It's true that society has progressed further into heathenism and immorality, but the consequences of adherence or non-adherence to values and truth have not changed since the days of yesteryear. I would imagine that at least one true character or quality of masculinity and a high-value man would be not to abandon, change, or compromise on his values and what he knows to be true, good, and morally right, just because the landscape today is tougher than the landscape of several decades ago. I often hear red pill influencers talk about a man's masculine stature, stoic character, leadership, discipline, and competence, but on the flip side, their central messaging and philosophy to men about the current landscape and what their response to it should be fundamentally undercuts any meaningful expression and definition of masculinity and high value, which is to conform to the current wave in societal standards because it's a little tougher for men, and wait for someone else to tackle society's issues, e.g. women, surprisingly. When I say they're waiting on women to solve today's cultural problems, I'm not being facetious. They actually make the argument that it's on women to end and lead us out of the hookup culture, since the hookup culture is women's fault because they are the gatekeepers of sex. But until that day comes, they, the red pill, will enjoy the decline, a direct quote, unwittingly implying that men are morally, ethically, and phenomenologically unaccountable and incompetent. The same women, they argue, are adverse to accountability and incapable of leadership because of biological necessities, which interestingly and conveniently results in a situation where they can engage and participate in bolstering of lasciviousness of the hookup culture, while simultaneously argue that leadership is rightly befitting of men and the bona fide of the high-value man presuppositions, which has gone through a major revision in the past several months as the red pill community garnered more eyes, attention, and scrutiny from the public. What value and use are the ideas of masculinity, high value, character, stoicism, and relationships from a philosophy and ideology with such presuppositions to society and the rest of the men who are not part of the top 10 to 20% of attractiveness and wealth?